So I've said it time and time again. I think there are a lot of benefits of being a non-traditional student that goes into dental school after spending a gap year or two out of undergrad. I feel like mentally you're more prepared to take on the challenge of professional school. I feel like you're more mature, which makes things even better. I feel like if you have more life experiences, you are more appreciative of the time that you spend in school. But don't get me wrong, there are a lot of downsides to being a non-traditional student. And after being through 4 years of dental school and graduating at 29, I feel like I'm kind of qualified to talk about this. What's going on, everybody? My name is Dr. Eli, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, I'm a first-year orthodontics resident, and I recently graduated dental school in 2025. On this channel, I make videos with advice for pre-dental students, as well as vlogged my entire dental school journey and currently vlogging my residency journey. So if that's something that interests you, please make sure you subscribe. So recently I did a talk with my post-bac program, and it got me thinking about a few things, and they had me talking about some really interesting topics. One of the things that constantly come up, not just there, but also in my YouTube comments, someone recently asked me, do I know anyone that started dental school after 30? To which the answer is yes. And they also just asked me what my thoughts were about being a non-traditional student. And it really got me thinking and giving them some good advice. So number one, like I said, you'll always hear me say this. There are definitely benefits to being a non-traditional student. I also tell everyone, my dental school class started with 115 people. And at the end of the first year, we were down to 109. All 6 people that ended up leaving or having to repeat a year were people that came straight from undergrad. My theory is that they were burnt out, missing out on real life, or just weren't ready for the challenge of dental school. But of course, there could be a bunch of different things, and that can happen to anybody. But as I continued on in the years in dental school, I really started to feel the effects of being a non-traditional student. And I don't really mean in an academic sense. I know a lot of non-traditional students worry about being able to get back into the flow of studying or being a student again and how that's going to look for them and if they're ready for that challenge. But I honestly think there are benefits in that regard of being a non-traditional student, because you take things more seriously than you would have when you were 22 or 23 coming out of college. Especially if you haven't experienced real life yet, working a 9 to 5, getting up and going to work, not being able to just skip work when you didn't feel like going, kind of how you could in college. Things are different when you're in dental school. I think those real life experiences really helped shape my mind for the challenge I was going to have to take in dental school, which is why I absolutely do not regret taking gap years between undergrad and dental school. But some of the drawbacks of being a non-traditional student, number one is definitely finances. And I mean this in a lot of different ways. It was hard to go from working a job to being in school where your entire income comes from your refund check. You have to budget differently. You're not getting a cash flow every 2 weeks or every month the way that you did when you worked a full-time job. Finances look a lot different. You can't afford to do some of the things that you used to do when you worked a full-time job. Getting haircuts every 2 weeks or getting your nails done every 2 weeks or whatever you like to do to maintain yourself. Sometimes you end up having to cut back on that because of your budget. You can't always buy a new pair of shoes or buy some new clothes. And to a lot of people, that stuff doesn't really matter. But it does kind of suck when you can't even treat yourself for your birthday because you ain't got it like that. And it sucks when you used to have it like that and you're used to having it like that. Trust me. But also you start to feel behind because you can't invest in the stock market like how your friends are doing or start your retirement plan or all this other stuff. And the other thing about being a non-traditional student is naturally we compare ourselves to where other people are in life. So you'll see your friends doing a lot of things that you just kind of have to miss out on because you're not there yet in life. You're still grinding and working towards your dream. And that leads me into the next part, the part that I think is really hard about being a non-traditional student, and that's missing out on real life. And when I say this, I mean this a few different ways. Undoubtedly, in dental school, if you're a non-traditional student, you're gonna have friends that are in their mid to late 20s, maybe even 30s, maybe even older than that. And life will continue going for all of them. You'll watch them get raises at work, get promotions, buy houses, do all the things that you can't necessarily do right now because you're still a student. I had to watch all my friends buy houses. I watched some of my friends get married. I watched some of my friends have kids. And that was amazing to see, but it starts to weigh on you like, man, when am I gonna be able to get started on my life? Because the unfortunate truth is during dental school, some people do it, but a lot of people don't have the time or the money to get a house or start a family or any of that stuff. So that is a really big drawback of being a non-traditional student, and it can distract you at times, especially if that's what you really want. You have to be very strong-minded. Remember the end goal. Remember that you're truly not missing out on anything, because as soon as you graduate, you're gonna catch up like that. Financially, socially, all the things. Quick intermission to the video. If you're watching the video and you've made it this far and you're enjoying the content, please drop a like on the video. It's right here under the video. Just click the little thumbs up button. It's of no cost to you, and it does so much to help boost the video and the channel in the YouTube algorithm. Thank you so much, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the video. But I think one of the things that hurts the most when it comes to that is not being able to be there to celebrate with them, to make memories with them, and all the other things. Missing weddings, missing funerals, missing watching your friends' kids grow up. That part really sucks. And being honest with you, if there was one thing I could change about being a non-traditional student, that would be it. Now, I don't know if that would have been different if I had still gone to school in state or other things, but being a non-traditional student and having so many friends with so many things going on, I had to get out of the state to go to dental school because that's what would eliminate the distractions for me. And that's a very tough decision to make, because you may have a lot of family around that you don't want to spend time away from, or you may have these same situations that I mentioned that you just refuse to miss. So being in state is the only option for you. But I would always recommend, don't let these things distract you from your goal, because they very much can and will if you let it. Otherwise, do not worry too much about being a non-traditional student. If you can bear through the storm and weather these things, you will be absolutely fine. I'm constantly reminding myself that I'm so close to the end of my journey, and I worked so hard to get this far that I truly can't stop now. And I will get to the point where I can go back to enjoying all these little things with my friends. Sure, I look forward to it, and I truly cannot wait until that day. But until then, you gotta stay on the grind. You gotta get to the end goal. And trust me, I'm not all the way at my end goal yet, but I have graduated dental school. And I can say in those 4 years, I have absolutely no regrets of what I did and being a non-traditional student. I hope this video could console you a little bit if you had worries about being a non-traditional student. I want to keep it real with y'all at all times, like I said, so I'm not going to sugarcoat anything for y'all, but I don't want you to be too worried. That's all I got for today's video. Thank you all for watching. I truly appreciate it. Please make sure you subscribe to the channel, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Peace. I got baguettes in the back of my ring, and I went he trying to hit me. I told her she gotta run to the team before she can talk to the lit. Before she can talk to the yeah. Lamb chop, I just pulled up in some